beautiful people. What's good, what's poppin'? Hope you're having a great day so far. If not, they say, okay, that's alright. Come on. Sit down with me. We're gonna flip that frown upside down and get another reaction for you, okay? So I am getting into this 4D Shams video. This one is titled, The Problem with Fat People. I could have sworn I already viewed a video like this previously on my channel a few months ago, maybe about almost a year ago, I'm not sure. You can go check that out if you want to. But yeah, body positivity, we already know became a definition of something else that it wasn't originally defined as. Let's not waste no more time. Let's talk about it.
Just because I'm fat, that doesn't invalidate the things that I say.
She died. You ready to get super?
That's why I said I don't even understand where this came from, because people literally pass away from this.
She died too.
Today I got the big Fruit Loop.
He's dead. Join me on my fat positive radio show, which didn't last long because she died.
So before you guys start writing your angry comments calling me fat phobic and saying that I'm one of those red pill guys who hates women, get to the end of the video, because it's probably not going to be what you think. Or actually, it might be. So in recent years, there's been something called the fat acceptance movement. And the goal of this movement has been to advocate for societal change and attitudes towards fat people, along with fighting for equal rights for them in all areas of life. Think, for example, advocating for a clothing brand to make bigger sizes that accommodate for fat people. Or trying to change the culture that stigmatizes fat people for going to the gym, even though they're trying to change their lives. Like, if you're one of those people at the gym who looks at fat people funny or makes them feel uncomfortable because they might be sweating a little harder or grunting a little harder because they're a little bit bigger, then you're the worst type of human being.
When I went to the gym again, I just started working out at home more because I kind of got tired of going to the gym just for a little minute. But when I was going, I never understood the people that did that either. I'm like, at least they're choosing to make a change. How would you feel if you constantly see somebody on social media that don't care about making that change? So I always thought, oh, that is actually really good for them. Like, they should really pat themselves on the back for that. They're taking the first step to transformation.
You're actually a dickhead, because you don't know how much effort it actually took that person to get up and try to change their lives. But what I'm here to talk about today is this new wave of content creators who are not only advocating for obesity, but they're glorifying it. Content creators like this.
If promoting obesity is what it takes to make other fat people feel hot, obviously I'm gonna do that. So yes, I am promoting obesity. Stay mad.
Shut your I don't know what happened, but I think the video cut off. I was gonna say fabulous. Okay, but no, seriously though, for a lot of people, food is an addiction. And notice how you don't see people going around saying, if promoting drug abuse is what's gonna...
That's why I say, people always assume addiction is only with like drugs and alcohol. It's definitely not. There's other addictions. You could be addicted to sex. You could be addicted to food. There's also other types of disorders, addictions as well. So that's why I'm like, no, addiction is not only just drugs and alcohol. It's not.
Gonna make crackheads feel hot. Of course I'm gonna promote drug abuse. Right. But I'm not surprised at all, because these plus-sized, big bone, big back, whatever else name they have for calling fat people, these fat content creators have started to become delusional.
Extra body weight causes, heart problems, diabetes.
Yes.
What do you say to that?
I think that the science isn't actually as clear-cut as we like to believe.
Oh.
And there's not really quite a consensus yet about the real relationship between weight and health.
Aside from the fact that she's just straight up wrong, do you see the delusion in this?
Yes.
And honestly, if I was a morbidly obese person, I wouldn't need science to tell me that being obese negatively impacts my health. I mean, the fact that I probably wouldn't be able to run, or maybe being out of breath after climbing a few flights of stairs, being like 2 to 3 times the size of a regular person, or maybe not even being able to reach certain parts of my body because I'm so goddamn big.
I need this help a little bit to clean myself.
No, I think this show is what scarred me. Seeing that, girl, and I was like a teenager watching My 600-Pound Life. Seeing that did something to my brain. I was like, I bet not ever try to get. I mean, life could throw curveballs. You never know what could cause you to get big, because sometimes it do be health concerns. But you always have a choice, okay? So that's why I'm like, this is just irresponsibility. I'm not trying to be mean, but at that point, it's just irresponsibility. And again, like I said, unless it's medical, because I can definitely understand something that's medical and it possibly cannot be reversed. But there, again, you can still choose to do something even with the medical diagnosis. But again, being lazy, that's a choice.
Wiping just my ass. I mean, I can't reach everything on my back, and I can't.
Just going for a walk. I be telling people, you ain't got to do the most. Go walk. Walk for 30 minutes to an hour. You ain't got to do it each day. Do it like 3 or 4 days out your week if you can. If you can, you better get in your... Let me tell you something. You better get in your home. You better put up a YouTube video, of a little cardio video, whatever you like, yoga, and you better stretch for 15, 30 minutes. However much of time you have, you better do something physical-wise. You don't even need that much time. A good 15 to 30 minutes will do you good. And again, as long as you're doing it frequently throughout the week, it don't have to be every day. You just need to get started.
Can't reach everything below me.
I wouldn't need any signs to know that I was unhealthy. And I mean, this guy's so bad that we even have doctors getting paid to say stuff like this.
But 96% of those participants in The Biggest Loser regained their weight because their brain worked well. It was supposed to bring them back to store what they needed or what the brain thinks it needs. So willpower, throw that out the window.
So you're saying that their brain, which, correct me if I'm wrong, usually functions to help us survive, is telling them to get so big that they can barely move or do day-to-day activities? You see how that doesn't make sense? And I know one of you guys is gonna come through trying to make this argument.
I disagree because I believe in society, especially in America, we have this idea that, oh yeah, all fat people ate themselves that way, that they just sit at home and they're lazy and they don't do anything and they ate themselves that way. But they don't take into account people who have a disease.
That's why I said this is why I draw the line. If you have a medical diagnosis, because I definitely can understand sometimes weight is just not easy to drop off like that. And sometimes it's the same way with people who is trying to gain weight. Sometimes it's not easy for them to pick up weight. Again, only due to a medical concern, a medical condition. If there is nothing wrong with you, it's a choice. It's a choice.
They don't take into account people who work out and their body is just built that way.
Someone, thin or fat, could be addicted to something, could have really high cholesterol or low bone density or too high of a resting heart rate. They might have a chronic illness or other autoimmune disease.
If anything, that should be motivation to get up. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm like. That should be motivation. Because, again, those things can be changed. That ain't forever. High blood pressure, that's not forever. You can change and reverse that. Like,
disease. Even, yes, thin people could have type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure.
And yeah, tomorrow I might get bit by a spider and turn into Spider-Man. Do you see how weak that argument is? Now, I'm sure there's probably a small population within the fat community that does suffer from these conditions, but I definitely don't think it's the majority. Most people are fat because of their life decisions. Now, I get it. We have women who get pregnant and put on weight. Yeah, we have people who get...
That's different. That's what... Again, losing the plot here.
Depressed and use food as a coping mechanism, and I'm not shaming any of those people. I just want to stop.
Definitely not. But I'm saying at some point, if you want to get healthy, okay, recognize that the choice is what got you here. Now let's reverse it. That's what we're saying.
In reality, these fat content creators are trying to convince us that whether you're fit or morbidly obese, you can still get sick and deal with the same illnesses. And no one denied that. All we're saying is that you being morbidly obese puts you at a higher risk of getting these illnesses. And trust me, I get it. Your body, your choice. But when I'm sitting next to you in that plane ride for 6 hours, squished and I can't move my arms, at that point, I don't know. It just feels like it's starting to affect my choice.
This remind me of the lady, what was that? The lady, the rapper, she was like 500, 600 pounds and she couldn't fit in the Uber car and she called or Lyft. I forgot what rideshare she was using. She got that man fired. A whole lawsuit ended up being filed because she made a video, basically got him fired because he told her he wasn't gonna be able to let her get in the car because she was too big, and he was like, my car is small, and ended up popping his tires, and he was like, his car wasn't already in the best condition. So yeah, delusion.
Too. And since we're on the topic of airplanes, we gotta talk about this petition that this fat content creator started.
I think every plus size traveler should get a free second and even third seat on an airplane. I'm on a mission to revolutionize the travel industry and make it a more accessible, accepting, accommodating place for all.
First of all, at the end of the day, an airline is a business.
Yes.
So for you to think that they're gonna give up 2-3 seat spaces up for free, newsflash, buddy, that ain't happening. And I hate how she's so comfortable trying to inconvenience the rest of society due to her poor eating decisions. And honestly, this lady right here might be my least favorite fat content creator.
Said to me, well, have you eaten? And I said, yeah, I had some pizza earlier. And they said, you need to eat something like a bit more healthy. Now, there are a few words that I don't allow when somebody comes into my house, and healthy is one of them.
And you know what irks me the most? Is that some of these fat content creators like her are promoting this fat lifestyle of overindulgence to their supporters while they have trainers helping them improve their health.
Yeah.
So instead of practicing what you preach, you're leading your supporters towards an early death while you get away scot-free. And the saddest part is that I know that a lot of these fat content creators know the repercussions of being that overweight. But for the sake of keeping the platform they built on glamorizing obesity, they're willing to put people's lives at risk. But I can't highlight the people who have lied to their supporters without highlighting the people who have been honest and have tried to make a positive change in their lives.
I'm 25 and being fat led me to having cancer. I know what you're thinking, Jordan. Being fat doesn't cause cancer. And you're right, it doesn't. But some of the negative repercussions of being fat can lead to you getting cancer. It was really hard for me to get on TikTok initially and talk about the fact that I had cancer that was literally caused by me being fat, when I have an entire audience and an entire platform dedicated to showing that your life doesn't have to suck if you are fat.
Everybody, let's clap it up for her.
I was about to say, give her kudos, because that was not easy to do. And I could tell that was not an easy video to make. I value her honesty and her transparency. And again, the choice, you see, to make a video about the repercussions of the medical diagnosis due to her choice.
Let's clap it up for her. Because see, my point is, if you're a content creator that's worth their salt, you making a positive lifestyle shift isn't going to kill your content creation career. And if those are really your supporters, they'd want the best for you anyways. And to end this video on a high note, we're going to highlight more people who have changed their life around.
Welcome to What I Eat in a Day as a neurodivergent, chronically ill, ex-fat acceptance influencer on Monjaro in recovery from food addiction, working on changing my lifestyle.
I am someone who consumed fat acceptance and fat liberation content for a majority of my 20s. And it convinced me that I should not trust doctors, to the point where I did not go see a doctor even when I was extremely ill, until I was 26 and pregnant with twins. And later in my pregnancy, I got diagnosed with gestational diabetes, which is common for women who are overweight and pregnant with multiples. I have been working very hard to unlearn and deconstruct from a lot of the rhetoric and ideology around fat acceptance and fat liberation recently, and I feel like this story that I'm telling you is extremely important.
This is a testimony. Somebody else is going to look at this and be like, oh, I can do it too because she did it. You know?
Fat acceptance rhetoric is incredibly dangerous.
Now, for any people watching this who are struggling with their weight, please.
And she looks amazing.
Please don't think I was trying to belittle you with this video. I truly think that you should love yourself at whatever weight that you are, but at the same time, I think you should want better for yourself, not only for you, but for the people who love you as well. With that being said, if you made it this far, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also, subscribe to my reaction channel, 4D Shams Live, and join my Discord. Links are in.
Y'all gonna support the 4D Shams fam, okay? But yeah, y'all, that was the problem with fat people. Let me know what you thought about this video down below in the comments. Don't be afraid, don't be shy, leave feedback suggestions for my next watch. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next video.